Inversions of triads. Triads aren't always stacked in thirds. They're not always in root position. Sometimes the third is on the bottom, sometimes the fifth is on the bottom. So as you can see here in this example, that's in root position. It sounds like this. And in first inversion, the third is on the bottom. It's the same chord, but it's in a different order. Here, it's in second inversion with the fifth on the bottom. Now we're going to talk about how to label these inversions. Here's a root position F major triad. As you can see, the numbers down here are 5 and 3. They refer to the number of intervals above the lowest note or the bass note. 3 refers to the note 3 steps above the bass note, so F, G, and then A. And the 5 is 5 notes above the bass note. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now the cool thing about this is that you're already learning a pretty difficult concept, which is figured bass, which we'll study in AP Music Theory in a month or so. But already we're learning the symbols that go along with that. Now, there is a shorthand system, which means you don't always write this number system. In fact, in this root position, you don't put 5 or 3 at all. You just leave it totally blank to indicate root position. Going to the same F major chord, now it is in first inversion, which means the third of the chord is on the bottom, which is the A. Now, using your figured bass numbers here, you're going to count up 3 from the bass note, 1, 2, 3, that gets your C, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that will give you your F. So this is how you would indicate first inversion, except to make it a little more complicated, or less complicated depending on how you look at it. You only write the number 6. You don't write the number 3, because the 3 is just implied. So for first inversion, especially when we start doing Roman numerals, you'll put, like, let's say we're in F major, you'd write a capital number 1, Roman numeral 1, and then a superscript 6, so the 6 up in the top right hand corner, and not the 3. Lastly, we're going to go to second inversion F chord with the 5 on the bottom, so 5 referring to 5 notes above F. So anyway, or a fifth above F rather. So anyway, if you take the bass note and you count up 4, C, D, E, F, you get C to F, and then count up 6, C, D, E, F, G, A, and that is the notation for second inversion. And this you actually will write 6, 4. So let's say we're in the key of C major, you would write a capital Roman numeral 4 with a superscript 6, 4, just like that. We'll go over that a little later. Now here comes a fun drill. So we're going to look at this first one here. The 6 indicates what inversion? That's right, first inversion. So that is saying that the third of the note of the chord is on the bottom. So you have an A here, that is the bottom note. So you have to ask yourself, A is the third of what triad? And the answer is F major. But if you wanted to, you could just do the figured bass and just write in the numbers, sort of like a paint by numbers thing, which is you go up 6 from the bass note. That would be A, B, C, D, E, F, and you'd write a F. And then if you remember, first inversion had a 3 down here, which you just don't write for shorthand. So you go up 3 from A, B, C. So you have a C and an F, and that would already build your triad for you. So that's pretty easy. Here's the next one. 6, 4. What inversion does that imply? Excellent, good choice, second inversion. So instead of trying to figure out the notes, let's just do a figured bass thing. You go up 4 from the bass note and then 6 from the bass note. So let's do that. F up 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and you have a B. And then let's go up 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you have a D. B, D, and F. This is the fifth, so it's actually a B diminished triad in second inversion. So go ahead and finish these on your homework, and if you have any questions, please ask.